So here's our song. Can we see our song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And Guy did try to get one that had the words so that we could kind of hear and read it along. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me something that's backwards. I don't care if I never get back or it's one for the whole thing. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 seconds you're out at the old ball game. That's not the one I wanted, but because it sang with it, but that's all right.
Basically,
how about us trying to sing it together? You want to try it?
That's really interesting because I was reading Time magazine double issue at the weekend, and it said that there's a karaoke app where you sing one half and the other person sings the other half or something, and you pair up. And apparently there have been some marriages and babies based on people singing together. And it's a really popular app, but this seems a bit like it. This is brilliant for language learning.
Yeah. Well, this is Mike, you know this song, right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right, so then I expect that you should be able to sing it with us, with me.
No.
All right, here we go. Come on. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me something and then back with that. I don't care if I never get back. But you for the whole team. If they don't win, it's the same. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. I don't hear you.
I don't care if I never get back. Don't win, it's a say. 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Wow. Yeah.
We all have very ugly voice.
Huh?
We have very ugly voices here.
We don't have ugly voices.
Speak for yourself, mine is beautiful.
It was very cute. Not ugly, it was cute.
It was fun. Okay, so I also did
a project, and Pascal came, I think, last week.
I also did somebody asked me what is a state fair, and I was wondering if anybody else has such things as state fairs or something similar. But I put together a little slideshow to show you my memories of a state fair. So let me share my screen again.
That's exciting.
The state fairs are really a 4-H. Oh, excuse me. I don't know why it does that. State fairs are generally 4-H fairs. 4-H stands for the head, the heart, the hands, and health. And it's an organization throughout America that nurtures and helps kids learn about farming and taking care of both the animals, the agriculture, and then they come and they share what it is that they've been doing through the year. Well, and it's also sewing, making clothes, all kinds of things. And it was started back in September of 1841 in Syracuse, New York. And these are some old pictures that I found. And state fairs, boy, I tell you, that's where we always used to meet up. You know, that was a big thing with us as kids, teenagers, to go to the state fair together. And they do all kinds of showing. As you can see, we've got they show their pigs, their cows. There's horse shows, gardening. They also do a lot of that's not what I want. Get rid of that. They also do a lot of exhibits to share what they've done. Everything from animal husbandry to plants to jams, jellies. You also, the biggest pumpkin, and, you know, those kinds of things all are shown around the fair. And of course, there's the games, the arcade games and the rides that they have. That's the midway. And the worst part, of course, and what you have to probably spend a month.
What's the midway?
Oh, the midway is where they have all of the different games and rides that you walk on.
Part of the state fair?
It's all part of the fair.
Okay.
Yep. It's all part. So the midway is where you walk down to play the games and go on the rides. And then there's another area for all of the exhibitions. And all the way through it is the food. Oh my goodness, there is food everywhere, and particularly cotton candy. You all know what cotton candy is?
And candy floss in Britain.
Candy floss.
Candy floss, is that what it's called? And the fried dough. Fried dough is always a big thing, particularly if you put powdered sugar on it. And the all-American hot dog with everything and anything you can put on it. Yeah. And over here we have the bloomin' onions. Those are just a few of the different kinds of foods, but there are like booths everywhere with all the different foods that you eat. So it's really is quite an affair. Unfortunately, they're all being canceled this year. And so it's like the first year, as with everything else, that things that have been part of our past for generations is kind of being put on hold. And Casey at the Bat is actually about a team at a state fair. Mudville is they play baseball at the fairs. My favorite is the sulky racing. I love to go to the state fairs that have sulky racing. Do you know what sulky racing is? No? And see, I didn't pull that up, but sulky racing is horse-drawn carriages, 2 wheels, hitched onto the horse. The horse paces and pulls it, sulky races. I actually had a horse at one time who had been a sulky racer, but had been weighted down too heavily in the back, developed curved leg and couldn't race anymore. And so I had the pleasure of owning him. But our story today, Casey at Bat, is actually a poem. And we've done a poem before. So I'm going to share Casey. I guess I'm going to share Casey because now I've moved everything around. There he is. I'm going to share my screen again. Casey at Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer. It was written in 1888. So not too far from the same time that the first fair started. How long ago, how many years ago was that it started? I wrote that down here somewhere. 179 years ago that they've been doing state fairs. And if you had a chance to look through the play, you notice that Casey and the umpire really don't have much of a part. It's just kind of a one-liner in between. But the fans 1 through 6 are very interactive and very much on top of each other. And I wanted to ask the group, did you want to go through some of the words first that I had highlighted? Or would you like to just do a reading first and then go back over the words? What would you like to do?
We read the first and we go back later.
Okay. So we can, because this is a short play and not that many people in it, we can actually do 2 readings so that everybody who wants to has a chance, because I think we have quite a few in here. So let's I'm gonna do fan 1.
Me.
Who's that, Nigel?
Yes.
Number 16, fan
1.
16.
2 wants to be fan 2. Who wants to be blue?
Let it be me.
Is that Nadia?
Yes.
Okay, I'm
Number
only
2.
getting it by the sound of your voice. 3, who's gonna be 3?
I can be
Okay,
3.
Olga. Olga Z. And who's gonna be 4?
Pia.
Pia.
4.
And who's gonna be 5?
I can be.
Tamara.
Nilanjana.
Nirandana.
Nilangela, you gonna be 6?
Yes, okay.
Okay. And then Casey and the who wants to be Casey? It's just like 1 or 2 words. I thought we'd have some kids in here.
Today, no kids.
No kids today, I figure. Okay. Let's see, who's gonna take on
I can be Casey. Tracy, it's Georgia.
Georgia. And who wants to be the
Stefan.
Mustafa, umpire.
Stefan?
Yeah.
Mustafa Center.
Okay.
Great. Shall we
There
go?
we go. Casey at the bats.
It looked extremely rocky for the Mudville 9 that day.
Angela?
Nilanjana?
Yes. There is some error actually.
Yeah,
The
can I?
score was 2-4 with but 1 inning left to play.
So when Cooney died at second and Barrows did the same, polarized the features of the patrons of the game. Rhymes.
Tamara?
5 is Tamara. Tamara.
You have to unmute Tamara. I would suggest my 6 readers stay unmuted because you do read right back to back.
Is available for your meetings, webinars, and your Zoom rooms.
So
It's
Tamara?
supported on Windows, Mac, Linux,
Thank
and
you.
iOS devices.
Keeping there the rest with that hope that springs eternal from within the human breast.
For they thought if only Casey could get a whack at that.
Oh, they would put up even money now with Casey at the bat.
But Flynn preceded Casey.
And so did Blake.
And the former was a pudding.
And the latter was fake.
So on that stricken multitude, a death-like silence sat. Oh.
Pia?
Yes, and Flynn hugging third.
Pia, number 4, no?
Oh, yeah, oh. For there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat.
But Flynn let out a single to the wonderment of all. Let fly.
The much despised Blake tore the cover of the ball.
So when the dust had settled,
And they saw what had occurred.
There was a sneaky second.
And Flynn hugging third.
yes.
Then from glad multitude went up a joyous yell.
It On the mountain tops, it rained in the depth. It rattled in the depth.
It struck upon the hillside and rebounded on the flat.
For Casey,
Mighty Casey
was advancing to the bat.
There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into this place.
There was pride in Casey's bearing and a smile on Casey's face.
And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat.
No stranger in the crowd could doubt. Was Casey at the bat?
10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt.
5,000 tongues applauded as he wiped them on his shirt.
And when the writing pitcher ground the ball into his hip,
Defiance glanced from Casey's eye, a sneer curled Casey's lip.
And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air.
And Casey stood out watching it.
In haughty grandeur there.
Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped.
That ain't my style.
Hey, Casey. Mustafa.
And
Strike one.
the umpire said,
From the bleachers, black with people, there went up a muffled roar.
Like the bearing of the storm waves on a steam and distant shore.
Kill him, kill the umpire.
someone shouted from the stand.
And it's likely they would have killed him.
had not Casey raised his hand?
With a smile of noble charity, great Casey's visage shone.
He stilled the rising tumult. He bade the game go on.
He signaled to the pitcher.
And once more this period flew.
But Casey still ignored it.
And the umpire said,
Strike two.
Broad!
God.
Cried the maddening thousand.
And the echo answered.
Broad!
But one scornful look from Casey and the audience was awed.
They saw his face grow stern and cold.
They saw his muscles strain.
and they knew that Casey would not let that ball go by again.
The sneer is gone from Casey's lip.
His teeth are clenched in hate.
He pounds with cruel vengeance his bat upon the plate.
And now the pitcher holds the ball.
And now he lets it go.
And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow.
Oh, somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright.
The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light.
And somewhere men are laughing.
And somewhere children shout.
But
There is no joy.
In Woodvale,
mighty Casey
Has
Struck out.
Yo!
Whoa, great job. Mighty Casey has struck out. Yeah. So in America, baseball is known as, America's favorite pastime.
yeah.
It's, I would say liken it in the other countries to soccer, where they're always playing soccer. When I visited in India,
And cricket,
anywhere in the fields they could get a chance. Also, the other one that I saw quite a bit was cricket.
Yeah, cricket in India.
Yes, in India is popular.
India,
In
yeah.
England.
So what about in your different countries? Is there a sport which is a favorite that kind of kids grow up learning how to play. And
I know that baseball is also popular in Taiwan. Their team is world famous. Taiwan.
in Taiwan.
Yes.
And more players on the American teams are actually not even from America. Okay.
There is a Russian version of baseball, I guess, lopta. It has slightly different rules, but it looks like it. There is a bat as well and a ball, I guess. No, Nadia, will you correct me?
Maybe it is, but it is not as popular as baseball because it is an old Russian game and it is only played maybe in some schools during sports classes.
And thank you very much, Tracy, for letting us know what baseball is actually. Because I was not introduced to this game by my age.
Oh my, oh my. Well, yeah, it's interesting because it took me a while to figure out cricket. Because when I was in India, they watched a lot of cricket, and of course, baseball, running bases from one place to another made more sense. But just running to a stick and back, I couldn't quite figure it out. But then I was taught how if it landed in certain areas, there were more points to it, and that kind of thing. I don't know. I did get, so I enjoyed cricket, but I don't think I like it as much as baseball, just because running back and forth from one place to another like that is not quite the same as going around those bases. And in Boston, they have this, the green monster way out of field is this big board, green monster. And the goal of the baseball players is to see if they can hit the ball up over the green monster. And
Yes,
sometimes,
yes, the European and Western Americans, they like all the players at the same time moving and in action.
yeah.
While this in cricket, only two bowlers and one batsman, the others just wait and see. So this kind of things, they don't like it. So that's a two way of seeing the games. And Indians and Australian and some UK, British, they are very fond of cricket. And though even it is like 4 days
Britain, Australia,
game,
right.
test game, test game is like 5 days, not only one
Yes.
day. Yeah,
A long
so
running game, yes.
Long running game.
We have also international cricket team. We love cricket in our country, Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Bangladesh
So
is getting
now
famous.
is cricket or soccer more popular in your country?
Cricket is
Cricket in your company, in yours. What about in the other countries? Cricket or soccer?
nearest country is India.
Yeah,
Pakistan,
India also cricket.
Cricket. Pakistan also cricket. World Cup cricket. They played World Cup cricket. We have international World Cup cricket team.
Soccer is popular in Russia, I guess.
It's very popular everywhere,
Yeah.
in our school and also everywhere.
So
it's also soccer.
what sport did you play when you were in school? What sports did you play?
Soccer.
Volleyball, tennis,
Volleyball,
Yes.
tennis,
Basketball
basketball,
and football.
and football.
Yeah.
Now, is football the same in Georgia in your country as it is in America?
Some race.
I'm not sure, Tracy. I'm not sure I know the difference between soccer and football, actually. Is football the one we call American football or something? I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. Football and soccer are really very different, although they're often intertwined as far as terms. Soccer to me is a much harder, more physical game because you're on the field both offense and defense. And in football, you're either defending the ball and keeping it from moving, or you're trying to move the ball. You're two different teams.
So it is football for Greece then, no soccer at all. Football and basketball mainly. We are very good at basketball here.
Basketball. I used to be a forward I used to be the forward on our team in basketball. That was when I was tall. I've shrunk. I've shrunk. Believe it or not, about 4.5 inches. I used to be 5'8", and I'm now 5'8.5". I'm now 5'4.5", which is very frustrating, because I remember times when my mother used to ask me to do things like to get things off the top shelf, and no problem, sure. Thread the needle, sure, Mom, I'll do that for you, and all those things. You know, it was so easy. And now I'm asking my kids, I can't reach that. I can't see, I can't do the needles, you know, so it's so quickly, you know. But yeah, I loved basketball. I played basketball. I was the team forward. I, believe it or not, played tennis. My favorite sports were swimming and diving, both of which I taught for many years, and horseback riding. So. Would you like to read this again and switch around some parts and get people who didn't get a chance to reading this time? Yeah? Okay. So remember, we have the fan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let me suggest that if you're fan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, leave yourselves unmuted so that you can come in on top, okay? The rest of us can mute, and certainly Casey and the umpire can mute. Do you want to go over the play and some of the words first before we do that?
I would like that, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let me share back.
Tracy, there is a similarity with Wordsworth's poetry here. There is a part where it says 10,000 eyes, okay? It instantly reminded me of William Wordsworth's poem, The Daffodils. You know, it's a very good example of hyperbole. The sentence I quite not recollect, but it was something like 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. You know, so that was the expression when William Wordsworth finds daffodils. You know, so he was so mesmerized. So it's a very good example of hyperbole. So this word, 10,000 eyes, reminded me of William Wordsworth here.
Oh, very good. Of the poem Daffodils?
Daffodils, the daffodils, yes.
Oh, look that up.
It starts like, I wandered lonely as a cloud. It's a very famous poem for kids. I wandered lonely as a cloud.
Oh, it sounds beautiful. Yeah, now when they're talking about the 5,000 tongues applauding as he wiped them on the dirt, what are they talking about then? It's just everybody doing what? What are they doing? What do you do when your favorite person is coming up to bat? Yeah, you cheer. Ah, go Casey! Yeah, it's Casey. Yeah, wow.
Yes, hooray, hooray.
Let me help you a little bit with when the umpire says strike one. This is not an unusual thing for people to yell out, kill him, kill the umpire, get rid of the umpire, you know.
Yeah.
It's always bad call. Oh, that wasn't a strike. Okay, it could have been, you know, a foot out of the zone, but the fans are the fans and the diehards. So it's got to be the umpire that has been wrong. So that's what's meant when they're saying kill the umpire, not metaphorically speaking. So what words, a pallor wreathed the features of the patrons of the game. What is a pallor? It's kind of, if you're not necessarily not feeling well or something like that, you kind of get to that white looking. You lose color. Face. That's what they kind of mean, the pallor. And then to read went circled all around the features of all the patrons. Like, oh, you know, like, oh no.
Pale.
Is it from the word pale? Pale, which is also like the same thing.
Yeah, it's pale. What do they mean by they'd put up even money with Casey at the bat?
Put up even money. Is it put up means to invest? Invest money?
Yeah. Olga?
Bet.
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 Yeah.
Invest.
Do you do betting on your games in your country?
Well, I guess
it's not legal. Not legal.
not legal.
Oh, it's not legal.
No.
Yeah, not legal. Oh, police can catch you.
Casinos are illegal, actually.
Oh. Oh. Well, it's one of my favorite things when I go to the sulky races. I take $10 with me, and you can bet on your horses to win, show, or place. First is a win. Show is first and second, and place is if they come in first, second, and third. Now, I'm kind of a wimp, so I only bet $2, and I always bet on the place. That covers me in 3 areas. And if the horse does one of the 3, I usually get back $2.50, $2. So I make, 50, 75 cents. So I'm fairly lucky in that I usually come back with my $10 and a couple or more. I took my grandkids last year for the first time to sulky races, and I gave them each $10. They're not allowed to bet because they're underage, but they could tell me who they wanted to bet for, and I would go and place the bets for them. And they loved it. And my grandson actually won like $15 on one of his bets. So that was kind of fun. It's always fun to see something go well. But here in America, we are allowed to do that. Probably shouldn't be. That's probably right. So let's see. What other words? Stricken multitude, a death-like silence sat. Okay. Because neither Flynn nor Blake were very good baseball hitters, and both of them ended up getting on bat. And so now there seemed a chance that Casey was going to be able to come up, and Casey is, supposed to be the big hitter, the home runner. If he hits everybody in, they're going to win the game. So, and this word here is despised. And the much despised Blakey, meaning
not loved, something like this.
To look down upon. To look down upon.
Not liked.
Not liked, yeah.
Yeah. Tore the cover off the ball. Did he?
Destroyed the ball.
Hit the ball hard, yeah. That's another baseball term saying, wow, he just really gave it a good whack. And now we have Flynn. What do you do? Pick up that base and hold on to it and give it a big hug? In baseball, have you ever watched somebody slide into a base? Okay. He's sliding in to get underneath the tag. Okay, they would have had to tag him to get him out. So he's sliding in and he's holding on to that base. Okay. He takes his hand off the base and gets tagged, he's out. Okay. So.
What do you mean by gladdened multiple?
From the gladdened multiple. In other words, all the people there now are really excited because Casey is going to get a chance to bat. So they're all making noises. Oh, Casey, mighty Casey, he's coming up to bat. Yes, we've got this game. Okay, he's gonna, okay. But Casey is very full of himself in a sense. So his manner, there was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. And Nigel read this very nicely. If you listened to the tone of his voice in some of the stuff, and I heard other people starting to really get into the baseball feeling. And then responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. What does that mean? Yes, yes. Doctor's hat.
I have watched a film called The League of Their Own with Tom Hanks and Madonna, and they had offered Tom Hanks the job of the coach of a girls' team, and they had promised him that, hey, the only thing that you have to do is just, you know,
Up
your hat. Yeah. That's how I imagined it, yes.
And that's exactly right. That's exactly what he's doing. I see that there are people wanting to come in, and I hope somebody is letting them in because I can't see. I just hear the dings. I was also taking down a few notes, and when the writhing pitcher or wreathing, he's grinding the ball into you ever watch a pitcher and the hitter stare each other down? There's a lot to it in the mind game too, you know, getting ready, getting set, that whole piece, and the batter setting himself up just right and waiting for that period of time, and the at the end, the pitcher winding up and the pitcher letting go. Okay, the sequence of he's grinding that in this, and we talked a little bit about defiance. Okay, he's defying that the pitcher is going to be able to strike him out, and a sneer curled Casey's lip. What's this, a sneer? What does that mean, a sneer curled Casey's lip?
Some grimace, maybe something. Can you show us?
Can I show you?
Okay, thank you very much, Tracy.
I don't know. You have to kind of get into the feeling of, all right, I can hit you, you know. Okay.
So it's like a mocking smile and mockery, kind of, you know, smiling.
Yeah, sort of. But again, in defiance, he's saying, yeah. So I let that go by. Okay, you know. But and in haughty grandeur, there, he says to the batsman, "That ain't my style. That ain't my style." Okay. So he's waiting for the right pitch, but he's really kind of just showing off. So,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you
right.
Get that whole feeling of what's going on.
Yes.
And if the bleachers black with people, in other words, just filled with people. Okay. Do you think they really, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand? Do you really think that they would have gone? No.
No.
But in some instances, in some sports, though, at least in America, sometimes things do get out of hand if they don't like the calls and stuff. Have you ever seen anything in any of your sports where things get out of hand because they didn't like the way it went? The sports fans?
A lot of bad examples are coming up during these football matches, World Cups, and after the game, the fans fight with each other, and it comes to very bad accidents, actually. That's what you mean, yes, Tracy?
Yeah, over a game.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting is one of the other things I did for years was I was a coach for minor league. Those are kids who are 8 to 12, 14 in baseball. And on the team, when I coached, everybody played. It had nothing to do with we needed to win the game. We just wanted everybody to have the opportunity to play and enjoy the game and to learn skills. But when you start having the parents come in, and particularly if your team happens to be towards the top of the league, towards the end of the season, they want you to play all the top players because they only want to win, and they lose sight of what it's all about. And that was just always a rule I had on my team, was everybody plays no matter whether we're in the finals or, you know, wherever we are. in the league, everybody has the opportunity to play because it's a game. Always end up having problems with
Gracie, sorry for interrupting you. I think Grace has sent me a message asking to come in. Would you make me a host, or you can accept her?
Yeah, I accepted her. I think there's got to be a way where I can do that without having to stop sharing, but I'm not sure what it is yet. But we'll find out. Okay. But one scornful look from Casey and the audience was awed. What does that mean? Hi, Grace. What does that mean?
Was scared. The audience was scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry about this. I'll go back and fix this. I missed it. They saw his face grow stern. Okay, that's a typo. It should be a space in there with cold. Sorry about that. Missed it. Anywhere else? We good?
It's a nice expression. His teeth are clenched in hate. Clenched teeth.
Clenched. Yeah, he clenched his teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice visionary things in here where you can really picture what's going on. Okay, it's a very, very fun, even if you don't know baseball. So we'll read again, and if you didn't have a chance to read.
Tracy, and what does it mean, tumult? Tumult. It's tilt.
Okay.
Tumult. What? No. Up. Go up, please. Go up. Go up. It was fan 6. Fan 6. Okay.
Is it T-U-M-U-L-T?
T-U-M-U-L-T. Yes. What does it mean? Tumult.
It means loud noise. Loud noise made by the crowd.
Okay. Thank you.
The uproar. Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't find where you were. Nice that people have each other's backs in this group, I tell you. Okay, so, Rihanna, you didn't get a chance to read. Would you like to read?
Yes.
Would you like to do one?
Okay.
That's in red. And Grace, you came in late. Would you like to read? Grace? You're muted.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not able. I'll be able to read now. Just
Okay.
came in tired. Yeah.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Let's see, who else
I would like to be fan number 2.
Okay, who is that?
Olga N.
Okay, Georgia, you want to do a fan?
Yeah, could be 3 if you want me to.
Angela?
Yes, Tracy?
What would you like to do? 4?
Yes, no problem. Did everybody get a chance to read? Because
yeah, I don't know. You only read, you read so little, and I'm trying to see who else is here. Okay. Okay, did everybody, no, we got everybody in? I don't know. We don't have as many people right now.
Okay. So I'll be 4 then.
Okay, you're 4 and 5. Who's going to do 5 for us?
Can I?
I'll do 5.
Who's that?
I'll do 5.
Who's saying that? I can't.
Name.
Grace?
Yes.
You do 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Mustafa, you didn't have much of a part either.
Yeah.
How about you doing 6?
Yes, okay, great.
Tia?
Yeah, 6.
No, Casey.
Then what's left?
Casey and then the umpire.
Okay, Casey.
Okay, and who do we have that hasn't got something?
Olga Z.
Olga Z. Olga, can you be a good umpire?
I think you're gonna be better if you like.
You'll be good. You know, strike 1.
Yes, yes.
Got it? Okay, awesome. So we'll start reading again, and again, if you're not reading, put your mics off. Okay. Yes, Rihanna.
Shall I start?
Yes.
It looked extremely rocky for the Mudville. This is Mudville.
Mudville.
Mudville 9 dead day.
The score was 2-4 with but 1 inning left to play.
So when Cooney died at second and Barrow did the same, a pillar wreathed the features of the patrons of the game.
A struggling got up to go, leaving there the rest with the hope that spring eternal from within the human breast.
So they thought, if only Casey could get a whack at that.
They'd put up even money now with Casey at that bat.
But Finn preceded Casey.
Yes.
Me? But Fanny proceed Casey.
And likewise, so did Blake.
And the former was a pudding.
And the latter was a fake.
So on that stricken multitude, a death-like silence sat.
For there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat.
But Finn let fly a single to the wonderment ball.
And the much despised Blakey tore the cover of the ball.
So when the dust had settled,
and they saw what had occurred,
there was Blakey, safe at second.
And Flynn a hugging third.
Then from Glidden, multitude went up a joyous hill.
It rumbled in the mountain tops. It rattled in the dell.
it struck upon the hillside and rebounded on the flat.
For Casey,
mighty Casey,
was advancing to the bat.
There was easy in Casey's manner as they stepped into the place.
There was pride in Casey's bearing and a smile on Casey's face.
And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat.
No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat.
10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt.
5,000 tongues applauded as he wiped them on his shirt.
And when the writhing preacher ground the ball into his hip,
Defiance glanced from Casey's eye. A sneer curled Casey's lip.
And now the leather-covered spear came hurtling through the air.
And Casey stood watching it.
In haughty grandeur there.
Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball on the headed spade.
That ain't my style,
said Casey.
Strike 1.
The umpire said.
From the bleachers black with people there went up a muffled roar.
Like the beating of the stormy waves on a dim and distant shore.
Kill him! Kill the umpire!
Someone shouted from the stand.
And it's likely that have killed him.
Had not Casey raised his hand?
With a smile of noble charity, great Casey visaged soon.
He stilled the rising tumult. He bade the game go on.
He signaled to the pitcher.
And once more, the spheroid flew.
But Casey still ignored it.
And the umpire said,
Strike two.
Rude.
Road, cried the maddening thousand.
And the echo answered.
Fraud.
But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed.
They saw his face grow stern and cold.
They saw his muscles strain.
that Casey would not let that ball go by again.
The sniller is grooved from Casey's lead.
His teeth are clenched in hate.
He pounds with cruel vengeance his bat upon the plate.
And now the pitcher holds the ball.
And now he lets it go.
And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow.
Somewhere is this favored land. The sun is shining bright.
The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light.
And somewhere men are laughing.
And somewhere children shout.
But there is no joy.
In Mugwell,
Mighty Casey
has
struck
out.
Oh,
Very interesting line.
When you have the opportunity to listen to the recording, listen to the first read, listen to the second read. Even though the same people aren't necessarily reading, it isn't so much that. It's that when you begin to understand it after reading it and discussing it, you begin to see that people started using more expression in their reading, didn't they?
Yes.
And Olga, you did a great umpire, strike two. Yeah, you're all ready. And I think you all did, and I hope you enjoyed the Reader's Theater. A little bit of singing.
We did.
A little bit of baseball, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And now you know what a county fair is in the United States. And I'm going to miss that fried dough. Well, actually, I probably won't miss it physically, but, you know, the fried dough and the cotton candy. But I'm certainly going to miss Sulky Races. It is interesting to see what's happening over the past half year and how many things are being affected with the COVID worldwide. And what will it be like in 3 months from now, in 6 months or a year? Will we ever have that chance to get back to some sort of normal routine? Or do you think this is what is becoming the norm for us? Something to think about. I don't know. But I'm so glad that you all joined today in the Reader's Theater.